Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Curtis, and we're going to be continuing off with the Dwarf Fortress tutorial thing. So, yesterday we were talking about, or not yesterday, last video, we were talking about making barriers or walls, fortresses in general, stockpiles, food, food stockpiles, how to gather food, how to make food, how to make, maybe we might go through weapons. Just briefly, I'm not sure. I might put that, save that for number 3. And then also using the commands a bit more and a little bit further in depth with those. So we're just going to jump right into it. First of all, I'm in desktop mode right now. It's just to show you a little bit of this little command prompt-esque window we have here. So the only thing I really recommend you remember is I believe it's quick save. That is necessary because you cannot save the game without closing it. It's like without this window, say if you're just playing this game, having a good time playing your game. Here, we're gonna boot the game up. I believe it was this one or this one. I think it was this one. Yeah, we'll go ahead and boot this one up. I'm pretty sure it's this one. I just had a couple other ones there because I was screwing around with some things. No, it was not. Okay, I had a bit of a mix-up there. We're good now. So, I just basically accidentally opened my old version of Dwarf Fortress, Lazy New Pack, instead of my current one that I'm using for this tutorial. So, we're going to go ahead and boot up the game. Continue playing. Last one. And then I'm going to briefly go over the quick save. I have my Dwarf Fortress saved to an SSD hard drive, and I haven't noticed much of a speed up and load times, to be quite frank. So, you know, if you feel like having Dwarf Fortress on an SSD, go for it. But I don't know. I haven't noticed anything marginally better. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead, jump right into the command console here. We're gonna type quick save. I'm gonna open this too, so you guys can see. That's good enough. Nope. So we're gonna type in quick save. The game should save, and it's gonna save the game. It's gonna freeze for a little bit, depending on how much stuff you have going on. This will basically save. Well, it's a save state, is what it is. It'll just think of it like saving a video game. You save, there you go. Without this window, without the Lazy New Pack, you have to save through this method. Go to save game, and once you do that, it'll exit the game, which can be very annoying when you're just trying to save the game, just in case something bad happens, you lose all your stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and boot it back up. Yep, there we go. And then I'm thinking I'm gonna start off with maybe workshops, I'm thinking. Anyways, we're gonna let these guys continue. I believe I had this planned out for a room where I want to store all my wood. So we're just gonna let these guys go ahead. It's space to unpause after it to be in the main screen here. If you notice here, the main way to tell if you're in the main screen is to hit escape a couple times. Say if I'm in the building thing, I'll hit escape, go back to the main window. It's gonna see all this stuff, and then you can unpause from there. So they're gonna keep on going. We're gonna go up and look at our... Oh, I never talked about the animals last time. Just go zoom in on these little animals here. These are little beautiful creatures. Actually, I'm going to switch the console over straight up to Dwarf Fortress. There you go. That should be a little bit better for you guys. No messy old desktop in the background. Alright. So these are animals. So as you can see, like, they're depicted by little icons. You can kind of tell what they are. I mean, this is a dog. That's like a sheep and some ducks. To go and view your animals and what you have, what you've chosen to start with. If you chose the preset, you should start with about the same things every time, and they're usually pretty good, so we're not going to complain about it. Let's go ahead and open. I think it's what is it? It's Z to open that. Yep. Okay, we're gonna hit enter to show animals. Now you'll see a bunch of unavailables here, and cats. This is kind of funny to me. I have 2 cats, and what they do is basically hunt little critters, mice, keep them out of your food, and that kind of stuff. Cats are awesome, but there's this thing called a cat explosion, quote unquote, where the cats will breed, because yes, animals can breed and make, you know, kittens and stuff, but they'll go and do it a lot, and then you have cats everywhere, and it's, you know, it's not the best to have millions of cats. So it's best to have maybe one or two, and, you know, if it gets a little too heavy, you can slaughter them, because yes, you can slaughter baby animals, and sometimes it is wise to do so. So I guess Dwarf Fortress isn't for the faint of heart. So we're gonna just go ahead and fix that. The window screwed up a bit. Maximize. There we go. This is update. There you go. So now, as you see, we have several dogs. Both are male and female. We're gonna go down here. We have hens, which lay eggs. Legs are very useful. I wouldn't say, probably the best. Yeah, probably the best source of food early on. Roosters, or maybe not. They're the least damaging, I would say, because they're most efficient. Because hens you make nest boxes, and then the hens will lay their eggs there. The dwarves will collect them if they can actually access the nest boxes. We'll talk about the breeding and all that in a later video. We're not going to go into that yet. So yes, we have hens, the male, and then we have a rooster. He's the one. He's like the, you know, head honcho. These are all his little hen hoes. So we have 2 ducks, a drake. There's not really much difference between hens and ducks. Not that I know of, at least. There's probably some minor things, but they're not going to be like major. And I believe turkeys. We have a turkey gobbler, which is the male, and then we have a bunch of hens as well, turkey hens. And I believe the turkeys, if you slaughter them, give you a bit more meat. But okay, we have 2 horses. Horses aren't that useful besides meat, because they can't be trained for hunting or war. So I know a hunting horse would be badass, and a hunting dog. We can also train our excess dogs if we wanted to, for hunting or war. So we're gonna go ahead and just, well, actually, we'll okay. You understand the animals. This is like where you see them. You hit Z to show. This is basically where you see everything of your stocks. You know, everything you have in your kitchen. Stuff like that. Your stocks right here. See how there's question marks behind each number. So like your headwear, it's estimated to be around 30. But it's not exactly 30 because you don't have a bookkeeper yet, which will actually take exact stocks. We'll get into that later too. There's a lot to Dwarf Fortress. I am just scratching the surface, I'm whittling it down. So yes, right now we're gonna focus on building a workshop. Carpenter's workshop. So we're gonna need to let our dwarves do their stuff. Let these guys finish their things. Okay, so we have a lot of wood. So I'm going to go ahead and hit B, C, capital C, like uppercase C. Then we're gonna go ahead and hit W for wall. So now you see this green square moving left and right. That's my targeting. Basically, my targeting or placement guide. So we're going to go ahead and hit U to expand it. It's just like before, where we use the U, H, K, and M as like arrows, like up, down, left, right. That's how we use this. So if we hit K, it'll expand horizontally, and H will shrink it, and just like M will shrink it, and U will expand it. We can also go into box select. This is how I usually like to do it. It's B to, like, when you're in the wall selection menu here. It's B to get into box select. And then we're gonna go ahead and hit enter and move our thing. So like we hit enter to select the area, then we move it down, and basically everything that's an orange square when we hit enter again will be selected as an area where we want a wall. This is how I usually do it because it's faster. So we're just gonna go ahead and put a wall like right here. And remember, it's shift comma to go up levels and shift period to go down. So we're gonna go ahead and put a wall right here. You can follow along in your own game, or you can just watch. I think it's personally better to watch because your own game might be quite a bit different from mine. But I mean, if you want to play along, go for it. Do what you want. You're your own man or woman. Hit enter to place it. Now it's going to give you a selection menu. these things you can scroll with in your numpad with plus and minus, and I believe you can do it also near the 0, and you can, yes, near the backspace key and the 0 key. So we're gonna go ahead and use our Ginkgo wooden logs. We're gonna hit enter. I'm gonna hit I believe it's shift enter to select all of them, and that's gonna basically say finish this project with all selected whatever material you have highlighted. So we're gonna go ahead and back out. Now you notice we're gonna let them do it, but you'll notice here there's no doorway, and this took me a long time to figure out. I'll completely be honest with you. It's Q to enable the construction toggling thing. It's like I can't really describe it. It's like a properties selection. Sorry if you hear sounds outside, by the way. It snowed recently, so a lot of people are shoveling out in my neighborhood. So we're gonna go ahead and hit X and X. Is that even? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll make one there. Go ahead and put a wall there fast. Okay, so we have 2 doors either way. So yes, so it's again, it's Q to get into this thing. When you see the waiting for construction menu, and whatever is blinking green is what you have selected. X gets rid of it. S suspends it. I don't really use suspension. I don't use suspend things. I just get rid of them. Anyways, so we're gonna let them go ahead and do that. They're gonna go ahead, and if you hit U, you'll see their active jobs, I guess. You can also see the livestock here. Oh yes. I'll go through this, but I'll get back to that in a sec. Okay, so yes, we can see the jobs. They're all so the guys that don't really have jobs will go ahead and construct that building or the walls. So you're gonna see them just building walls. Just go grab the ginkgo. They'll only grab the selected material, and boom, wall is done. So if you see, so pretend my mouse is an enemy. It runs in. Your dwarves are all in here. It runs in. It can't get through these walls. Some enemies, monsters or whatever, can destruct walls and doors and workshops and a lot of your stuff, but for the most part, they won't be. Like, for the first majority of the game, well, if you're lucky, you're gonna be going against like wolves and I don't know, tigers, depending on where you are. They won't destroy your stuff. So my mouse is an enemy. It's gonna run in, but you see right here. It's gonna get it's gonna go into your stuff. It'll kill your miners, punch them in the head, knock them out, whatever. So we're gonna unpause it. So we're gonna need a workshop to build doors because we can't magically create doors in the build menu, sadly. We need them. So I mean, you can hit B to go into the build menu, and you can go and hit select door, but it'll say you need a door, so you need to make the door. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the build menu again. I'm actually gonna go ahead and let these guys finish up. I will pause not pause the video. I'll just skip ahead. So I will talk to you guys soon. Hey everyone, I'm back. Just a little note. This is right here. I'm gonna zoom in on it a bit. Everything gets a lot super pixelated and blurry when you zoom in, but this right here, if you see, it's like a little wooden. Everybody's piled around it. This is your wagon. This is what you arrive on when you first start the game. It has basically all your supplies within it, and it's basically a meeting place for all your cohorts, your dwarves, your animals, and you can set a meeting place later on. We'll get into that, but for the most part, just leave this as a meeting place when you first start, because you need to protect this stuff, and everything should be around it, because this is basically the safest place in the map for your dwarves when you first begin. The dogs will, even if they're not hunting dogs, will defend things. Like, say a badger walks in, being nosy, wants a little bit of your sweet ham. He's gonna go ahead. The dogs are gonna go ahead and rip his larynx out. They're not gonna play around. And dogs are generally tougher. There is depending on where you start, say if you started in a location, I believe it's Untamed Wilds, you will get giant versions of animals. So instead of like a normal little pesky badger coming on, to you in a bar, if it's gonna be a giant badger coming on to you in a bar, and it's not gonna be a good time. So let's go ahead and just say, for now, when you first start out, leave your guys hanging out near the wagon. It's a good place usually, safest spot. Your cats, don't even worry about them. They're just gonna walk around and look. They just want to explore. They have they're very curious creatures. They just kind of do what they want, and you leave them to the It's kind of cool having cats running around, but don't concern yourself with them too much. So I think my guys are about done. Yeah, they're just gonna go ahead and finish up. I probably should have had that unpaused while it was going on. So it's actually while they're finishing up, I'm gonna go ahead and hit you and go to the others. So these right here are like the animals in the area. These animals spawn. These are basically everything in the area right now that's not related to your fortress or your party, quote unquote. So we're gonna go ahead and find this eagle. So we're gonna hit Z, and right there is that wild eagle. You can notice right here, because of we're seeing the treetops and everything is a little bit faded out, that we're a little bit higher. Right here on the side, if you guys can see this, this is actually your level indication. Right here is ground floor, is basically like sea level. This is above and this is below. This goes actually further than this indicator, but so if we go down a bit, where'd that eagle go? Go up and down. Go ahead and find him again. U Z. So he's right there. This eagle, we can actually view his properties if we go into I think we hit, is it Z? Yes, we hit Z again when we have him selected. A small bird of prey. He is very fat. His feathers are brown. His skin is burnt umber. His eyes are black. Things will have different properties like this. They're nothing you can actually see, but I mean, it's just details. It adds a little bit of character to this pixel that is depicted as, or a collection of pixels that's depicted as an eagle. Oh, accidentally minimized my game. Should put that back up. And we're gonna hit exit. So we can also see if we hit in the right hand corner here, we have GIPWZ. These are all the commands you can do with this eagle. Hit F to follow it, and we hit space again to unpause the game, and we will follow the eagle. See, now he's way up in the sky. You can watch this level indicator, and now he's just going all over the place. So we're gonna head click him again. We're gonna go I to see his inventory. This is his entire body. In his right hand, you can see it's water covering, so therefore he is, I don't know, was in rain at some point, or he's wet. His body is wet. So his throat, his left eye, his left wing, his right. We have everything here. His beak, his tongue, and when the combat happens, it's so very detailed. Say if you have a dwarf attacking an elephant, well, you can go ahead and just attack him. Well, you can't control the combat. It's pretty much random for the most part. It's not it depends on what weapons you have and what's fighting what. But so say if you take your axe and chop at an elephant, you can cut his trunk off, or damage his trunk, or make his trunk bleed, or you decapitate him. Just crazy stuff. And it's all very, very detailed. It's not, you kill this thing, here's 5 experience. It's nothing like that at all. So anyways, that's the eagle. You have others here. Gonna be nothing really too dangerous around here. So we're gonna go ahead and go back to our miners. There they are. Miners should be finishing up. Okay. What else should I talk about here? Actually, let's go ahead and look at our little dwarvies. Look at their inventories here. As you see, all this stuff in brown is their inventory. Basically, what they have on this is all their clothing. You can make clothing and armor and weapons for them, just everything. Right here is these are lakes, ponds. Dwarves cannot swim very well. They can learn to swim, but and right now I don't believe I have numbering on for water, but it's deep. Here, I'll actually click it to show you guys. We'll go down a bit. Does it show? Yes, 7 out of 7. 7 is the deepest water can get. Having a dwarf in there is not very nice. If you can fall, like a dwarf can fall in combat and jump into a pond and drown fairly easily. Or just you're digging a hole, you punch through and boom, water comes in, drowns in a... Dwarves can drown very easily, is what I'm saying. Anything, I believe dwarves can swim up to 4. So think of like a glass of water. A little teaspoon of water would be 1. And in the entire glass full of water would be 7. So it's 1 to 7 in water depth. Dwarves can hang out and do stuff in water from 1 to 4 depth. Anything above that, they will drown. Or, depending if they have swimming skill. And all dwarves have, depending on some situations and such, have like a pretty poor swimming skill. Okay, let's go back to our dwarves. Anyways, this is, yeah, okay, they're just finishing up. Perfect. So we're just gonna hit B to open up the building menu. Capital C. No, it's not capital C. It is W. Yeah, sorry for that. It's B and then W to open up the workshop menu. Then we're gonna go ahead and scroll down. Or just hit the letter indicated. I don't know why I'm scrolling down. But hit R for Craft Dwarf Workshop. Remember how we placed the wall? How the tiles were green? Well, this is the exact same case. Now you see the light green tiles, dwarves can walk through. The dark green tiles, dwarves cannot walk through those, I believe. That's how it is. So we're just going to go ahead and just place it in the corner for now. We'll use some ginkgo. I'm just going to let... the dwarves will build that in no time at all. So while that's happening, we're going to hit I. No, we're not. We're going to hit S. What is it? P. We're going to hit P. Then we're going to go ahead and hit W for... This is a stockpile. This is where you're telling your dwarves to put all wood here. When we hit W to select wood, this is a wood stockpile. So we're just going to go ahead and make it kind of a small, because I don't want to wait like 10 hours for the dwarves to move their stuff. Boom. So everything in this gray is where this is like an indicated zone where the dwarves will move wood. If they have, I think it's furniture hauling, it's a certain skill, but I'm pretty sure like every dwarf has it, and because of the lazy new pack implementation and some of the mods we put on when we first started, the dwarves will just do this by default. So if you hit escape and hit play, we're gonna watch a bunch of dwarves come in with wood and prepping to build the Craft Dwarf Workshop. That builds really fast, and then see, now they're all just flowing wood in. If I hit U to see their jobs, a lot of them are storing wood in stockpile. If we go back to that, a lot of them are going to be doing it again. Is only 4 doing it? What are these lazy bums doing? Let's follow him. Okay, a little butthead doesn't... Size is too good. He's too good for that. Okay, well, he can do something else. We'll actually get some of them plants, too. We need some more of those. So remember, it's just enter, select the area. This little green blinking thing is where you're selected. It's kind of hard to see in the grass. But, so all these black things are little plants. They're hard to make out because there's so many aesthetic little things that actually aren't plants you can gather. Which, it actually kind of bugs me. Because I want to know exactly what are plants I can gather and what aren't. But I feel like it could look less pretty if it was like that. Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and make our doors. So we're going to hit A to, okay, sorry. We're going to click the Craft Dwarf Workshop. We can also, I think, Q, yes, Q, and move our cursor. Say if you're not using a mouse, you can still play, you can play the entire Dwarf Fortress game without using a mouse. I just like to because I find it's easier. So we're going to hit Q or click the Craft Dwarf Workshop and hit A to add a new task. Now, whoa, look at all this. So we're going to hit This is like making stuff out of rock. This is gonna... Wait, I made a craft dwarf. Ah, dang, I should have made a... Alright, scratch that. I mean, craft dwarf is something you should have anyway, so I'm not gonna chastise myself too bad for that one. But we're gonna go ahead and hit W, and we're gonna make, a carpenter's workshop. I could... Yes, there we go, let's see. So we're gonna do that with, well, we have a lot of ash, so we'll use ash. Now this is gonna run down and build that fast for me. There we go. And poof. It's done. I'm going to go ahead and click it. And then we're going to go ahead. There we go. Much better. We still have a lot of like options here. And all of these are really useful. I love building things out of wood. You can get away with not having like any wood in your area. But it's a lot harder. So always pick up area with a decent amount of trees. Because it's going to make life easier on you when you're first starting. So now I'm going to jump up. And make our forced door. No, we're gonna make our first door. So we're gonna hit D, and we're gonna hit repeat. We could just cancel and just make 2 doors. A, D, make it twice if we wanted to. I'm kind of lazy, and I just make. I know I'm gonna need a lot of doors, so I'm just gonna say construct door and hit R to repeat that. He's just going to keep on pumping out doors. He's just going to go and go until there's no supplies left. So, one of our carpenter doors, I believe we have one. One of them will do it. So, he's going to need a place to put all these goddamn doors once we have like a million. So we're going to go ahead and hit furniture. This is the stockpile, so P, U, furniture. We're going to go ahead and just place it, just for simplicity's sake, right here. This is going to be where we are going to store our furniture. So let's go ahead and unpause it and see what these little buggers do. One of them, eventually here, should come down and start building something. I think they're all actually, no, there we go. So who's that doing that right now? That is our mason. Probably not the best guy, but he's gonna be, now he's here. If we go into U to select it, go to this, you can see his task and all that. Now if we hit enter, oh no, it's C to go to him. We can go to oh yeah, I forgot about that. If you hit Z when you're actually over highlighted over a unit, you can see his relationships with people, and if more dwarves come into your fortress, which will happen, it depends on how much money your fortress has and how, I wouldn't say how safe your fortress is, but they basically, your fortress has like a total wealth, and that is what attracts more dwarves to your fortress, because the main way to gather more population for your fortress is to, you know, more population, more workers. That's what you want, is more people. Not necessarily like hundreds. That's going to be CPU intensive and hard to take care of for the most part. But you want, the main way to get them is having them migrate from other colonies, or just in general. They get a bunch of people in, and then they'll have their own histories, each character. So they'll maybe they have like all these relationships with people you have no idea who they are. You never met, you don't know who these things are, and they have all these like their kills. Sometimes it'll show kills here, and it'll be like these, like a werewolf, you know, all this crazy stuff. Because all these dwarves that have migrated randomly, look, they'll have their own names and their own professions, and some of them have kids, like a lot of kids too, and and sometimes they'll have like an entire family move in, which is kind of cool. But they'll all have their own history with them. But for now, we're just gonna look at his relationship, see what he likes. This is your god. The gods are, I believe, are preset. I don't think they're randomized. I was talking about this last time, but I honestly can't remember. Anyway, so these are his friends. He's on friendly terms, and you know, it's what it is. It's sometimes you can get lovers, and you can have relationships, and like a lover can die, and you'll be like, you know, like he can have a dwarf, and his wife dies, and he gets all sad, and he won't work as well, and you know. But anyways, making this door. So once he's done, we're gonna go hit B because we know we're making doors. So we're gonna hit B. Then we're going to hit D for a door, and we're going to hit. Okay, this is a little cheaty thing, but this is awesome. It's probably makes the game way easier. This is one of the hack things, the Dwarf Fortress Lazy Noob pack. It's not like a cheat. It just makes the planning stuff a lot easier. You're gonna hit Shift P to go into planning mode, and we're gonna hit Enter, and both of our little holes here. These are like it's black to indicate there's no door there yet. It's not like you instantly place it. Dwarves do everything pretty much. So now that we've entered, we basically what we just told the dwarves to do is once we have a door, no matter what it is, place it there. It saves a lot of time because you don't have to wait for the doors to be ready. So here we go. Door is finished, I believe. Actually, because we indicated that the fact that this is a storage stockpile, furniture rather, they're going to start moving the furniture from our wagon into the stockpile because things are safer in stockpiles because out here, you know, anything can be attacked. But in here, with our doors, and once we get all that, a little fortress, it's safer in there. So, like, getting away from your wagon is your goal. You know, start to have your, like, actual, like, home. But, for, like, when your wagon first starts, it's a nice little thing to have. So, as you see right here, people are going to start walking through the door. There are options in the doors. Forbid passage, keep tightly closed, which will keep this little cat. We'll do it. Actually, you might just go around, but we're going to forbid passage, so this cat's not going to be able to go through. Oh, that dwarf actually let him through. But, okay. We'll make it pet passable, because why not? And then, forbidding passage will prevent, of course, will forbid passage, so the dwarf won't be able to go through. It's good, because if the passage is not forbidden, creatures can also go through those doors. So, like a goblin or something. So say if, once you're out, like, you call all your dwarves in, which we'll go through later, you want to forbid passage, so the goblins can't just run in and kill them all and start fighting them. So it'll prevent bad guys from getting into your stuff. I mean, they can still destroy them if they have the traits, but so that last door is gonna be placed down, and then we'll call the video we'll call that part 2 once that door is finished. Any remarks I should leave? Not really. Food is important. I think we're gonna do next video on food because that is a very big aspect. Food and brewing things. Which there's a lot more in stockpiles we need to talk about. Not that much. Stockpiles is a pretty simple thing. And also, don't be scared to experiment just in your first game. So, you know, boot the game up, jump around, do some things. You've seen a little bit of the basics, and play around with this menu. It'll help you quite a bit. So, the door is about to be placed, and snap. And he put the door down and went to sleep. I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. What's his name? You. Oh, it's me! That's great! That would be me. That is me right there. Oh man, that's funny. Anyways, guys, you have a great day. That's part 2. Part 3, probably next week. Love you. Have a great time.